watching NotesIn9.
Hello, and welcome to NotesIn9. I'm David Leedy. Episode 168, Updating Source Control for Page Controllers. Source control is about tracking updates. Okay, before we get into the show, just a couple notes. This is kind of back to a normal show. It's not really part of the Learning XPages series, so I put the music back in, and I'm going to say a few words up front here. The first thing that I do want to say is a great big happy birthday to my friend Kathy Brown. She works at PSC. No, I'm not going to even mention or consider mentioning your age because I don't want to die, because Kathy runs more in a week than I drive my car and will hunt me down. But I hope you do have a great day today and a even better weekend coming up. Speaking of the great people at PSC, I guess I got to give a big shout out to my good friend Brad, and he's got a blog at accelerant.net, and he's off to the races again, doing god darn another series on X Pages. He's putting me to shame. So he's doing something on Grid X in X Pages, which is I guess an advanced dojo grid, and it looks very interesting, so I do recommend checking it out. I've yet to check it out myself, but I'm going to once I catch my breath from the Learning X Pages series. So definitely stop by his blog. He's got a lot of great information on there. Today's show is a demo of of updating a project inside Source Control. Basically, I mentioned in the Learning X Pages series the Jesse's controller project, and I needed to just make a few updates to that, so I thought, well, why not record that and show you how to do that and how that kind of stuff works. So that's what today's show is. But speaking of the Learning X Pages series, I'm up to 7 or maybe 8. I forget. I guess I should have counted. Shows in that series, and the goal is to build an app from scratch with a heavy favor for using Java and stuff like that. So I did a bunch of shows on the same night during an Eagles game, and now I'm out. So I'm gonna have to start this up again, but it's gonna be a little bit because I'm gonna take a break for something which we're gonna talk about in a second. But first of all, is anyone watching? Because I'm not getting much feedback. I've got a couple of emails from some people that I've not met before, which was very nice, and I've seen some tweets and stuff like that again, which is very nice. But if that's all I've gotten, I guess. So if you've gotten if you've have any questions or comments, please don't be shy. It's kind of, you're still kind of anonymous in a way. I'm not going to bite. But if there's something you don't like or something you don't understand or something you do like, please just let me know. And I would appreciate that. And I'd like to kind of just see how well this series is going, so I know how much time to dedicate to it. But speaking of time, the series is going to have to go on hiatus for at least a little bit because I have to do an X page application by Thanksgiving for my wife. It's a holiday project. I tried it last year with mobile controls, and I think the word is getting out what my feeling of mobile controls is. So I'm sure that's going to come up again. But I'm going to redo my project with hopefully boot cards, and we're going to give that a try. And if all goes well, I'll be recording that as well and getting that information out there. But until then, probably the shows are going to take a break until I get my Thanksgiving project done. Okay, so again, if you have any feedback or questions or anything, please just send me an email. Other people have, you can too, or leave a comment. That's legit. Brad, is doing a lot of work. I'm trying to do a lot of work. A bunch of other bloggers are putting good stuff out there. It's always good to know if you like this stuff or if you don't. It's called feedback. We like that. Okay, cool. All right, so with all that crap being said, other than the birthday wishes, but all that other stuff being said, let's go to the demo on using source control to update an existing project. Okay, so this is going to be a very simple demo that's really unrelated to the app build that I've been doing in the Learning X Pages series, but I'm going to make a minor change to the controller project that I downloaded early in the series, and I just want to kind of clean it up for future use. And what happened is Jesse saw the video where I did that, and Jesse said, "Well, you should do this and you should do that," and I said, "Yeah, you're right, and you're right." So here I am to do that, etc. So if we go into a designer, I'm going to open designer here, and somewhere in here, here's the controller by Jesse. So I have these classes in here that Jesse wrote that we're going to be using, but I really should go into the faces config and and put in the key piece that you need, just so it makes it easier to copy and paste. So the goal is you copy this stuff, paste it into your application, but you need something in the faces config, right? So I already have that on my clipboard, and I'm gonna indent this a little bit. Now this was already on the Bitbucket site, but again, I just wanted to get it in here. So we're gonna save this, and then we're going to go into source tree, and I've already set this up for HGFlow, but gosh darn it, I forgot to create a branch first, which is why I always like to have dangling branches in HGFlow. As soon as I close a branch, I make a new one. But I didn't do that here, so I made this in the default branch, which isn't the end of the world. But especially when you're working with a team, you don't want to live and work in the default branch. You want to make your own branches, or features as they call it, in HGFlow. So we're going to just go with it as it is. So I'm just going to commit this. Commit. What am I committing? Dated faces config code. Close enough. We say commit. Okay, so that's in there, and we're going to push this. Now again, this is in the I guess it's actually in the default branch, not the develop. So that's even worse. But again, it should work. It's fine. It's not a problem here. Eventually, I have to merge this guy back in, and that's what HGFlow does for you automatically. Now, if we go to Bitbucket and we come up to the project itself, okay, this is where I got that code paste from this line there. I have needed in face of config, but at least now it's going to have it in the source itself. So if I come in here and we look at the controller, and somewhere, I think it's under here, faces config, it should now be there. So again, it's very easy to get to, etc. Now I also want to, while I'm here, just make a quick note or edit on this README. Edit README. I've got some installation directions here. I've got the install. I've got the hook. But Jesse recommends another note. And we'll say if I could capitalize. I'm not really sure if this is a bean or not. It's probably not. So I would say classes must be named in the controller package. So it's /xpage name. And I'm not sure that slash is a good representation yet, so we're going to just take a quick peek at it. Okay, I sometimes make this stuff up as I go along. But if we go to this network and just see how it's, controller slash, and then bean.xpagename.java. And so we'll name.java. And this is basically how you update, a project on source control. Now, if I was working with Jesse, or if I had the actual foresight to actually give him access to this, he could have done this, and then I could pull it down. So I made a change here on Bitbucket. So this is actually going to simulate someone working with somebody else. So if I come in here to the controller and I do a pull, there should be an edit here, and there it is. And we just pull this down. And there you have it. And that's the demo. If you have any questions, here's my information, and I thank you for your time.